What's up, guys? We're back to Inglewood Seasons. Wreck the halls this time on Mighty Feathers. Let's get this level started. I think that's a good start right there. Had a little bit of concrete left, but we still passed the level. Looking at Wreck the Halls right here, this still looks like the old classic one. I noticed in higher versions like 4.10 and 2.5.0 and all those other versions, Wreck the Halls looks a lot different on those than it does on version 2.1.0. That's why the model of the game just looks different in each version. That's why certain versions are better than others. Honestly, the fact that version 2.1.0 has a big problem is that it always has an error now where it says that check your network connection in order to play these levels for Wreck the Halls. That's a thing I don't understand. I feel like it shouldn't do that. Technically, because it's a Christmas update, and pretty much on Inglewood Seasons it has errors with Christmas updates when you have a Christmas version. That's why I intend to always just get the version after the Christmas update, if anything. Version 2.2.0 is the one I would get. But on version 4.3.0 and version 4.00, those are pretty much the versions that don't really have that Christmas problem. Probably because things were more secure when those updates came out, because it was more moderated. .5.4.0 though was still a problem for some reason. Could be that the game is so old and games don't work properly whenever they're old. If you already downloaded the game long ago and still have the same version, then everything will work properly. That's why it's nice to drop off a phone early in the day. I feel like I barely made that one, but this one's easier because it's nothing but glass. Eat it. Oh yeah. 2 pieces of wood, 2 things of glass, and 1 cookie. At least you saved that 1 cookie for me to eat. That's how you do it. And really, when you look at the sky here on Wreck the Halls, that's when it just looks like the way it does on the old version. That's probably why they make up everything in a remastered version. But at one point I felt like I was dreaming to play this. There you go. Oh, shit. There you go. Looks like that cookie was just almost buried to the ground. Mighty Eagle sure can do something like that, that's for sure. So let's see. Yep, I knew it. You eventually were going to get stuck. Five rocks, 3 things of glass. They're all shattered apart. Things will look at you a lot differently when they're shattered. That's because the score and everything just doesn't really see it, because it's all shattered. Nice work. One's shattered, but one's all perfect. Level 9 I already did, so I might as well give that one a pass. But at least that was a level to leave early. There you go. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Mostly just snow left. If there's more snow than there is concrete, then it should definitely be 100. Wow, I didn't know that. I didn't know that bird went all the way to space. It's been up there for a long time. If I would just one day fall onto the ground like that, it would have to be because I was in space, but I hear that when you go into outer space, it takes years to actually get up there. Because you're not just going to go up there and come right back. Like, you're literally gone for like 3 years. That's why I just wouldn't go at all. That I would probably do everything else in my life before I do that. Let's face it, whenever it comes to your spirit and you die and you go to heaven, that's when you can go into outer space, because you have all that power when you go to heaven that you can go into outer space. So you just wait until you go to heaven to go into outer space. Everything else in this world you can do. Like finding a treasure chest on the ground, I would definitely do that before I go into outer space. Yeah, that's the thing that's gotta happen at least at some point in my life. There's just now more wood and more TNT, but I feel like that's less important than getting all the concrete rocks. See if this at least looks a little bit better. Oh, they decided to let me go early. I already see that already. That was not good. I try to just use it without power-ups, because that'd be like the classic version whenever things didn't have power-ups. And you could still pass the levels and everything without power-ups. They probably put in power-ups in the modern version because some levels are hard to beat in the modern version. Well, really the ones that didn't make it to PC, because on PC there is no power-ups. I wonder why Ham Dunk never made it to PC, because I feel like you can beat almost any level and not use power-ups. I actually done it. Dang it. Drop your eggs. Yeah, I'm not gonna waste my time. If you can't give me a 100 with that little bit, then you probably ain't gonna do it at all. I'd rather fight it by myself, like during the daytime, because that's when things are a lot easier. Or at least you caught them a little, that's all I wanted to know. Okay. Destroy the sled. Back up just a little bit to get 100. I feel like that's very hypocritical. Can't just give me a 98, just give me the whole thing. I know it's 100. I didn't hear it. You know what's worse than having a 98 is whenever you beat your high score and it's a 99. Those are the worst because you know that if it's not 100, it's a 99. But it's easier because at least you know when it's 100. ended already. At least I took him off before the pig died. Had to end right there. I don't see that being over 92. I think it's worse than 92. I can see that already. Seen all. Seen. Because you got 2 wheels left. Right there. Okay, there's a lot less bombing right there. Now it's all fair with the Christmas tree because Christmas is all over with. We probably need to do Year of the Dragon in a couple of days because it's now New Year's. Well, it did come out on January 20th. So we could possibly wait until January 20th. Even though I may have a job by then, hopefully. But getting a job, though, still wouldn't make a shit. There are still plenty of times in the day otherwise. I know my mom's sleeping in the other room. She probably hears it all. Knowing that this ain't 2012 anymore, this is 2026. Which is a pretty good year. And this is Year of the Dragon that we're doing. Yep, that's what we're seeing next episode. We still did a lot with just the dragon and nothing else there. And that song too, that's what I like. Let's kind of try everything else like this. Where the mountain's all gone. Let's just try doing it for the rest of these seasons. And when we come back here, we can put things normal. Okay, that sounds good. Because that's something nobody else ever does. I thought I might as well play it like that for a little while. Just to see how it goes.